Hello.
Hi, good morning. My name is Erika. I'm from the Hamburg. Thank you.
Hi, Mario.
Tell me how are things?
Very nice.
Good. You're still in the same city or no?
We're in Saint Remy
Oh,
in Provence.
yeah.
Yeah. We were in the town of Arles, Arles,
Yes,
and Avignon,
yes,
where the popes were,
yeah. Sur le pont d'Avignon.
sur le pont d'Avignon. And we saw the sunflowers that Van Gogh painted. Beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, very, very beautiful.
Good.
Okay.
What about our cousins? Are they still there? A lot?
We haven't seen, we saw in Marseille
Yeah.
some, but it didn't, and one of the people who live in Marseille spoke to us, says that they get along very well with them. So who knows?
Okay. Who knows? Who knows? All right.
Okay, so we're on 13b, Mishnah. 13b. I've been sending you've gotten, right?
Yeah.
I've been sending on the WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Tomorrow again, let's make it 10 o'clock. If I'm a
Okay.
little delayed, maybe it'll have to be 10:15 because.
Then it's 1, right? Yes.
Say again?
Yeah, 1 o'clock our time.
Yeah, 1 o'clock your time, hopefully, because what happens here is we get home, we get started very early. Like we're on the road at 9 o'clock. So we've already dove in and had breakfast. They get us back here like at 6 o'clock. And
Yeah.
dinner's at 8 o'clock. And the dinners have been 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Right? So like I wish they stopped dinner at 9:30.
Okay. Enjoy the dinners.
Yeah. Mishnah. Elu dvarim asur limkor lokoi. There are some things, not just related. We've been learning that on Yontif, their holidays, you cannot sell things to them. But then there are other things that you may never sell to them, because these are items that they specifically use to offer to an Avodah Zara. We'll see what they are. It's Struvlin, we don't know what that is. No Shuach, we don't know what that is. Upotrois, we don't know what that is. Levona is like incense.
Mhm.
Vitarnagol, I love it, a white chicken.
A white rooster, it says.
A chicken.
Well, but white.
A white chicken.
Yeah.
Rav Yedoim muter lim korlo tanagol lavan. Beina tarnagolim. That means if you're selling them 100 chickens, and among those chickens there's a white chicken, that's not a problem. But bisman shu b'fnei atzmo, if he comes and he just wants to buy one chicken, it's a white chicken. So there's a way to sell it for him. Kotea et etzbo. You amputate one of its fingers, and then umochro. The fishein makrivim chosr avodah zara. They would not offer a bird to their avodah zara missing a limb. Ushar kol advarim. Other things that you buy from a non-Jew, other things that you want to sell to a non-Jew, mutter. However, uperushan, if he tells you that he's buying it for avodah zara, then of course usher. Rameir Omer, he adds avdekel tav, a palm tree. V'chatzav v'niklav. The Gemara will tell us what these things are. Asur limkor l'goyim, you may not sell to a non-Jew. My itztrublin, what is mutztrublin? Tornisa.
What the hell is that?
Exactly. It's like a cedars, some type of cedars.
It says, yes, one of the 10 kinds of Eres trees.
Eres is a cedar tree.
Yeah, okay.
Like Arzei Halvanon, the
Mhm.
cedars of Lebanon.
Oh, I see.
So the Gemara says, Reminu. Hosifu alei, and they added to this list of prohibited items to sell regarding Shemitah. This is regarding Shemitah. Alachsin v'itztruvlin. Moichsin ubnois shuach. These items. What is this? V'isagadaitich she'itztruvlin turnisa. You're going to tell me itztruvlin is some type of cedars tree. Turnisa mi ikar b'shvius. There's no problem with this cedars tree on Shemitah. Vatanya zakla kol sheyesh lo ikar. If it has a root, yesh lo shvius. Kol she'ein lo ikar, ein lo din shvius. This type of turnisa didn't have roots. Elo amrav safra. Turnisa he pere de arza, some type of fruit that came from a cedars tree. B'noi shuach. Amrav Chana Amrav Yichnan tenesa chivrisa, a white fig. Up to tutros. Amrav Chana Amrav Yichnan. It's not another species. This is when you sell them with a stem that connects them to the tree, and not when they're completely cut. Levona, which is this spice. Levona zaka, pure spice, because that's used for Torah's Avodah Zara. Tana umikulan moichelen chavila. Now, all of these things that we mentioned that you can't sell, now, if you sell them a large amount at one time, like a package, so then you're allowed to sell them. Kama chavila, pirush Rav Yehuda ben Meser, ein chavila b'chusa mishloish shamani. At least 3 of these items. What do you mean? If you sell him many items, he's going to sell it to somebody else. They're going to do it for the Avodah Zara. That's not our concern. When we sell something that a goy is going to use himself, so we have a principle, lifnei iver lo sitein mechshol. Even a non-Jew has sheva mitzvahs bnei Noach. So, for example, if I hand a nazir a glass of wine, I'm over a lav of lifnei iver lo sitein mechshol. In front of I shouldn't help somebody's sin. So if I sell to a non-Jew an item that he uses for Avodah Zara, I'm violating lifnei iver. But I don't have to be worried if I sell it to somebody and he sells it to somebody else. A lifnei lo mafkida. That we're not concerned about. Karnago lavan, a white chicken. Amrav Yonah Rav Zera Rav Zvi, Vigit Demasni, the other people, the Amrav Yonah Rav Zera. If he comes in and says, Tarnagolami, who has a chicken to sell? So, Mutter Limkolo Tarnagolova. In that phraseology, you could sell him a white chicken. Because he's not mafkid, he's not makpid on a white chicken. But if he comes into the store and says, Tarnagolova, who has a white chicken to sell me? Then also Limkolo Tarnagolova. So you ask a kasha, it's not. Rav Yehuda Omer. Moicher hu lo tarnagol bein tarnagol. Our Mishnah said that if you sell a white chicken among a bunch of other chickens, you can do that. Heichidomi, ilemi de Omar. If the goy walked into the store saying, Tarnagol lami, who has a white chicken to sell? So afilu bein tarnagol nanilo. So you wouldn't have this heter of selling him a white chicken among others because he's coming in, he's telling you he's doing it for the Avodah Zara. The heter of selling him a white chicken among a large group of chickens is when he comes into the store asking who has a chicken. Now, but the way Rav Yehuda of our Mishnah would hold that only Ben Atanagolim in. If you're going to sell them other chickens, and the white chicken is part of it, then you could sell it. If they ask for no, and the Tanakama feel Ben Atanagolim nami lo, there would be no heter to sell according to Chachamim. Amar Rav Nachman Yitzchak Chochma Eskinon. If he asks in general for a chicken, you could sell him a white chicken. Like Gonda Omar Mochrli Zev. He had multiple chickens, and he says, "I want a white chicken and a black chicken." Then it's an issue. Tanya Mahachi Amar Vina Emasai. When is it prohibited? Bisvan Sha'amar Mochrli Tanagol Zeh Lovo. Sell me this white chicken. Avalim Omar Mochrli Zev. Sell me this and this mutter. Afilu Omar Tanagol Zeh. And if he only generally said, "I want a chicken," if the goy is making a party for his son, or he has a sick person needs to eat chicken, mutter. Because it's clear, even a white chicken, that the purpose of him buying it is either to help his son's party or he needs it medicinally. However, the Gemara says, "Vatnan goy she'asa mishtal no eno aser elo aser yom aser ish bilvad." That a goy makes a party for his son, he's prohibited that day. Aser yom aser ish mi aser. Right? Turns out it's going to be prohibition. Amar Yizak bar Meshashe b'tovizugna. This was a party not for his son, but like a friendship party. And there's no korbanos offered at such a party.
Oh, and in the weddings they offer coronas.
Yes, they
Oh,
offer korbanos to the Avodah Zara.
oh,
Yes.
okay.
Ushar kol advarim stomen mutter. All other items you can sell to a goy, as long as you didn't hear him say, "I'm using it for Avodah Zara." But peirushan usher. If you hear him say, "Oh, I need this and this and this for Avodah Zara," then you can't sell it. My bestomon umay bepirushan. And the Gemara wants to go into detail. What do you mean stam and what do you mean perush? Let's say he says, "I want white wheat." And Perushan to Omar Avodah Zara. Perushan is where he said, "I want white wheat for Avodah Zara." Well, lo stam and sricha l'meimer de mazvina, lo parsha and sricha l'meimer de lo mazvina. There's no problem with selling it to him if he came out and said, "I'm just buying white wheat." And certainly if he says, "I'm using it for Avodah Zara," we know you can't sell it to him. Rather, elastama de Omar chiti. Stam is he just said wheat. Perushan de Omar chivisa. He said white wheat. And comes out Mechlal the Tarnagol feels Tavanamilo. That a Tarnagol, a chicken, even if you didn't specifically describe it, it would be prohibited based on the analogy to this case. So Amri Lolim Stama de Kamarchite Charbisa. You said a white piece of wheat. Uperusha means to Karmel Avodah Zara. We said it's not a Chiddush. No. Perusha means to Chale. Ha Gavra Avodah Zara Kaboy. This guy doesn't want it for Avodah Zara. Another guy is very attached to Avodah Zara. Just like he is attached to other people. So he wants him to sell him this item. That's why he told him the way he told him. Even though he's not really doing, and maybe I might think that it's permitted. Kamashmona, we don't permit it. Boy Ravashi. Ravashi has the following question. Tarnagol Lovin Katulami. He says, "I have a chicken with who has a chicken with a defect in its foot to sell me? Me, I mean, become a Katua Lovin Zarka boy." Do we say nobody's going to offer a damaged chicken to Avodah Zara? They're not allowed to. And maybe it would be permitted to sell it to him. Odilma, he's trying to trick you. If he comes in and says, I want it for Avodah Zara, certainly he's not going to sell it to you. Maybe he'll tell me, yes, he's tricking you. We have another question. Tarnigal Lovelami, Tarnigal Lovelami. He comes into the store asking for white chicken. The Yavule Shachar, the Shachar. You gave him a black chicken, he took it. The Yavule Adam Shachar. And you sold him a red one, he took it. Well, now that he showed that he's buying many colors, can you sell him a white one? Yeah, I mean, given the Yavule Shachar, Adam Shachar, level of Zarkabai. He didn't offer black and red chickens of Zara, so it must be he's not even the white chicken. He's not going to do. Oh, Dilma Yeruma Kamarim, he's tricking you. He went through this whole Hatzagah to trick you. Take. So there's no answer. Rav Meir Omer Av Dekel Tav, the Chatzav. We don't sell to go. Amalei Rav Chizal Avimi Gmiri. We have a tradition of Avodah Zara Ravinu Arba Mea Parki Haver. His Masech Avodah had 400 prokim. The Anan Chamishetza, we only have 5. The Loya Dara Mai Kamina, we don't know what this means. My Kasha, what's the problem? The Torah Meir Omer Avdekel Tav, Hatsav, Niklas, Osir, Lim Korlagoyim. These things, we also can't sell to non-Jews. Dekel Tav, Hudulo Mazmina. A good palm, we don't sell. Hadekel Bash, a bad one, we do sell. We don't sell to goyim things attached to the ground. We're not selling the tree. We're talking the fruit. Chotzav, what's chotzav? Kashka, some kind of date. What's Niklas? Israel. Omar b'shem Rav Chavar Yosef. Kuraiti. Amalei Abaya, Rav Dimi. It's not Nicholas. We learned Nicholas. We asked who knows what this means. We didn't know. We don't know what karaiti means. My honest, how does it help us? Ahani lachu, it'll help. When you go to Eretz Yisrael, you'll say, what is Nicholas? They won't know. Amrit lahu karaiti, but if you ask them karaiti, v'yadi v'kamachulach. And then they'll tell you right away. Karaiti is also some kind of date. Small animals like sheep and goats. If the minig was to sell to non-Jews, we were concerned about bestiality. The goyim would have relations with their animals. So in places where they sold small animals, you sell. And in all places, you can't sell a big animal, like a horse or a cow, because there they will calves, whether they're perfect or broken. We're concerned about immorality with the animal. Rita mater b'shvura. Rita said by a shvura, if it's got a broken leg, you can. So the Gemara says we bring a minig that there's no, you can't sell it. There's no isser to sell, but there's a minig not to sell. So the Gemara says hecha denoig isser no. Places where the minig was to prohibit, they prohibited. Hecha denoig heter no. However, reminu. You didn't give goyim large animal. We're concerned that they're going to live with it. So it's isser, it's not minig, and there's a problem with lifnei iver. Amarav, Malcolm Shetir Lim Court, places where there was a permission to sell to non-Jews, because it's in those places they were not suspected to have bestiality with those animals. And therefore, you could have yichud with these animals. In the locations where you're not allowed to be in a barn alone, asur limkor, they made a prohibition to sell as well. Okay. Daf Yomi.
Tomorrow at 1.
Tomorrow 1.
Okay. Have a great time.
You too.
Okay.